20 demos. So your fast start, take advantage of your fast start. And what I'm going to be talking about is after your fast start, or even during your fast start. Your fast start, really, you should just be doing as many demos as you possibly can so you can get past the learning curve as fast as you possibly can. However, once you're done with your fast start, all right, we have something called the success formula. I might have gave it to you in training, or you might have seen this before. And it's really simple, guys. What it says is, and I'll put up a copy of this beneath, is you have a plan. You can have a plan to make $150 a week, $250 a week, $400 a week, or $800 to $1,000 a week, all right? You're on one of those plans. If your plan is to make, let's say, 150, well, the very first thing is calls, okay? The one thing that you have complete control over as a representative, it's how many phone calls are you going to make, okay? No one else determines that. So the point is, the sales, you can improve, but you're not in control of that. Are people going to be home? You can, or your phone ratio, like how many people set up appointments, you can influence that, but you can't. You don't have complete control over that. How many recommendations you get, you can influence that by getting better at your skills, but you can't control it. You can't say every single demo I will get 30 recommendations, and that's just the way it is. You can influence it to get there, but some people will give you none. There's the 20-60, the 20-20-60 rule. 20% do no matter what, 20% don't no matter what, and 60% can be influenced. So those are areas of influence: closing, phone, recommendations. But the one thing you have total and complete control over at any time is how many phone calls you make, okay? And you can keep calling people and calling people and calling people and getting more recommendations and calling people. And the top representatives just understand that concept. Our job is a numbers game, okay? The more people you call, the more people you call, okay? So there is typically an 8-to-1 call ratio. So, for example, plan number 1 for $150 is 48 calls a week. 48 calls will get you about 6 appointments set up. Now, there is something as attrition. Sometimes people cancel, they forget. Now, can you firm up your appointments? Yes, watch the video in the phone section on how to firm it up. But every once in a while, something happens. So if you're firming up this funnel is based upon an efficient, somebody who's doing really the right job, has learned all the skills, learned the phone. It's only 4 skills you need: phone, leads, closing, and how to manage your time, okay? And all that stuff is on this video series. And the faster you watch the videos and you learn the skills, the better you will do. So this is someone who's doing an efficient job or doing a satisfactory job. So 48 phone calls, 6 appointments, 5 appointments done, okay? 1 person cancels or moves you to the next week. I put 3 sales out of the 5, so we're not talking about selling on every one. And I put an average order of 300 because the average order in my office is 300. It's like 286 or 296 or something like that. And that takes in all the people who don't really sell a lot. So once you're efficient and good, you should be having an average order of $300. A studio set, should be your average order. Okay, so your average order is 300. So total sold for the week, $900. So 48 calls equals 6 appointments, means 5 appointments done, 3 sales, average order of $300. So 3 times 300 is $900. Averaging 7 recommendations, okay, a week. Okay, so your total recommendations then will be 35 recommendations. So with those 35 recommendations, you can now get yourself 6 more appointments. Now the 48 calls, if you're like, well, I'm just going to call those recommendations, well, you probably still have more people you can call that you know, but 35 people, you can make 48 calls on 35 people. Why? Because people aren't home. Okay, the calls do not mean that this is how many people you speak to. This is how many times you dial a phone number. Okay, and sometimes you have to call people 2, 3, 4 times. Maybe you keep doing your phone time in the evening and they're home during the day. So those 35 recommendations should get you another 6 appointments, and that will complete your cycle as far as that goes. So average of 7 recommendations. We'll give you 35 recommendations, and after 10 weeks of doing that program, okay, after 10 weeks of doing that program, not getting any better, not doing any more work, 5 demos, 3 sales, you will have sold $9,000. You will make $1,750 over that 10-week span. It'll take you about 10 hours to get these 5 appointments done. That's including phone time, meetings, travel time, and actually doing the appointment. So it should take you about 10 hours total for the week to do 5 appointments. Now you're going to see as that goes up, it's not proportional because the meeting is, we have the same number of meetings. We have 1 meeting a week, so that doesn't get more hours if you do more work. Also, it may take a little bit more time for phone time and travel and appointments, but the meetings stay the same. but the time for your appointment stays the same too. An income per hour divided by that 10 hours to do these 5 appointments and make these 48 phone calls is $17.50 an hour. All right, what you'll be making on average, for your first 10 weeks. Now the great thing is the second 10 weeks, you're now over at 25%, almost at 30%. So the second time you do that cycle, you will be that $17.50 will probably turn into, instead of making $17.50, you'll make close to $3,000 on the next time through that cycle. Okay, I'm not going to go through this whole sheet, but you can see them. The number one things here are the number of appointments done. So Plan A, $150 a week will make you. It's 5 appointments, $250, 8 appointments, $400, 12 appointments, and if you want to make $800 to $1,000 and be a champion and be one of the top people in the office, 15 appointments a week. It comes down to, by the way, the more work you do, if you notice at the bottom, okay, the more work you do, all of a sudden your income per hour goes up, which is really cool about our job because your percentages go up faster. You move up the chart faster, and then you don't have to work as hard. How cool is it as a college student to be making $33, $39 an hour, and all you're doing is really cutting food? So that's the success formula. So what do you focus on if you don't remember? Phone calls, all right, in your schedule. So now what you're going to be getting every week with our company is a PC, either with myself or our sales manager, or one of our assistant managers. If you're meeting with myself or our sales manager, that means you're a part of our key staff, and the key staff are the people who really just follow the program and do the things we ask on a consistent basis. So every week you'll get a schedule. The schedule looks like this, all right? So Wednesday nights we have our meeting. Okay, we have our phone jam. You'll see it says PDI ends at a certain time. It'll be on your schedule. We usually, at this point in the fall, we're doing a key staff breakfast on Saturday mornings, and we do our management training on Sunday nights. So that's our schedule for now. Your schedule might be different by the time you're watching this video, but every week you have to have a schedule. And then all these little A's are just availabilities when you can do your appointments. So all you do is you go through. If you have school, you block off school. If you have church, you block off church. Whatever you have to do. If your friends are coming in from out of town, you want to take them to a baseball game, you put Monday baseball game, whatever it is you're doing, and you make your schedule each week. Okay, it's really important that you sit down at the beginning of the week and plan out your schedule. Okay, what goes in your schedule? Things you have to do. Okay, well, vector stuff is already here. If there's a division meeting or some kind of event that's going on, put it in your schedule first. And also other things you have to do. School, church, all that other stuff. Second thing that goes into your schedule is phone time. Okay, so with the success formula, you should know how many phone calls you need to make. All right, I need to make 80 phone calls this week. General rule of thumb is for every phone call, you should give yourself 3 minutes, okay? Because sometimes it only takes 30 seconds if you don't get the person home and you get an answering machine. Obviously, if you don't leave a message, you just hang up. So you get the machine, hi, it's I'm not here at this time, hang up, okay? That's 30 seconds gone. Sometimes you get a person on the phone, you have to go through the whole phone approach. It takes you, 5-7 minutes to go through the phone approach. So it averages out to about 3 minutes per. 3 minutes per. So let's say you want to be on this 250 plan, okay? Well, I know I have to make 80 phone calls a week. 80 times 3 is 240, which is about divided by 60 minutes is about 4 hours of phone time. Okay. Now you don't put 4 hours of phone time into your schedule like block of 4 hours. You're not going to sit down and make 4 hours of phone calls. Okay. So so you block it off. You block it off in half-hour increments or hour increments. All right, I'm going to do an hour here. I need 4 hours, so I need four different phone times in my schedule of an hour apiece. Okay, and that's what you do, and you put that in your schedule. All right, maybe the Head Start phone jam. The best time for phone time is Wednesday night, right before the meeting, and Thursday night, right before the meeting. And then if it's summertime, Sunday night, so you can set up Monday and Tuesday. Anytime. Here's the best times for phone time: between 7 and 9 a.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. Okay, that's the best time for phone time. 7 to 9 in the morning, people are awake. If they have to be at work at 9, you can't call them at 10 o'clock. Remember, college students aren't up, but you are, okay, or homeowners are. Our clients are. If they have kids, their kids have to be at school by 8 o'clock, so they're waking up at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning every single day. So that is the time to call homeowners, between 7 and 9 a.m. or 7 to 9 p.m. after dinner into the evening. All right, so you put your phone times in there. Now, and then the last thing is your appointments, okay? Now, your appointments are everywhere else. Everywhere else you don't have a phone time, you put your appointments. Your phone time is much more important than your appointments. Just yesterday we had a rep. She had done a demo. She had set up a demo for Thursday at 6:30, and she didn't have her appointment set up for the weekend. So we immediately, just what we did, we made her cancel the appointment and say you need to do phone time. And she came to the office and she set up 4 appointments. So the point is she got 4 appointments as opposed to the 1. Thursday night is prime time phone time. You never do appointments on Thursday night unless your entire weekend is booked and full and you can't do anything on then. Then you could do then you could do that. All right. Now here's a little incentive for your phone time. As soon as you hit your number of appointments, you can stop making phone calls. Like 80 phone calls, I guarantee you, if you make 80 phone calls, you will get at least 10 appointments. Okay, that's the over thing. So let's say you make 30 phone calls and you get 10 appointments. Do you have to make any more phone calls a week? No. Okay, that's it. You're done. Okay, so the other 2 phone times you can now cross out. That can be free time, study time, appointment time, whatever you want it to be. Okay, so your goal is to do 80. You plan a schedule to make the number of appointments that you want to do, but your goal is to hit your goal. When you hit your goal, then you don't have to make any more phone calls, and so that's an incentive for you. So a lot of our reps, if they don't make their phone time, if you don't complete your appointment amount for Wednesday during the phone jam, you have to come back on Thursday. Okay, that's just how it goes. So so the benefit of getting your phone time done early is that you don't have to continue doing phone time. All right, so that's your schedule. Now during your PC, there's three things you need to bring every single week to your PC. Your schedule, okay, your 50 demo sheet, which I'll explain in a second, and your phone log. Okay, these are the 3 things you need. So here's your 50 demo sheet. Okay, your 50 demo sheet is really important. It says here Rex. Ignore that. All right, so here's very simple. Customer name. Every time you do a demo, at the end of your day, you need to fill out this sheet. These 3 sheets should be right in the back of your blue book, and you should never take them out of there, and you should always carry your blue book around with you. Okay, so customer name. So anytime you do a demo, what you do, put the customer name, date of the demo, CPO, which you'll learn in training, is just your cash sale price, line 1, minus the points of any free stuff you gave away. So your CPO goes here. CPO to date is a running total of all of your CPOs. So let's say you had a demo, you sold $100, so you would put CPO 100, CPO to date is 100 if that was your first one. Now let's say the next one you don't sell anything. So so you put the name, CPO was 0, CPO to date was 100, okay, because you're still at 100. Now let's say the next demo you sell another $100, so, right? So then I would say name, CPO 100, CPO to date 200. Okay, so this is just a running total of all of these individual CPOs. Hope that makes sense. All right. That same thing with names and names to date. Names are just when somebody writes a name and a phone number on a paper for you, and you can now call them. That's a name. Okay, so so names and then names to date. So the first person gives you 10, you 10. Names to date is 10. Then names. The next person doesn't give you any. Okay, names to date is still 10. All right. Next person gives you 5. Names to date is 15. All right, and this paper allows me to track everything. You can see everything that you possibly could want, your closing ratio, your average order, your average recommendations per demo. This will allow us to really track your progress, so it's really important you keep this up to date, and every demo goes on this sheet, okay? Your presentation reports, remember, you're going to turn those into the company, so you're not going to have those anymore. So this sheet allows us to look at your business and say, all right, how's it going? The last one here is your phone log. All right, your phone log is really simple. If you're going to make 80 phone calls, there's 100 on the page. All right, when you get an appointment, you put a happy face. Okay, so you call someone, you do your phone approach. If you get an appointment, you put a happy face. If they say call me back later or right now is not a good time, you don't get an appointment, you put a sad face. If you don't get them on the phone, they don't even pick up, you put an X. All right, and that way you can track how many phone calls you made each week. All right, to make sure that you're on track to hit your number of calls. Okay, obviously if you're doing one of the higher levels and you have to make 120 or 160 phone calls, you're going to need 2 of these. Okay, and then before you do your phone time, you do not flip through your recommendation book to look for numbers. Before you start your phone time, you take this sheet, you put the names of the people you're going to call, who they were referred by, the phone number, and any notes. Okay, the notes is for you. All right, and then you just go down this sheet. You do not call people. You do not randomly go through your book and make phone calls. Okay, and who do? You do all the people. When you do your leads, you organize them by area. So you're not doing one demo in Brooklyn, one demo in Suffolk County, one demo in the Queens, one demo in New Jersey. Okay, so you just take out all the people who live in Brooklyn, and okay, I'm going to call the Brooklyn people, or maybe I'm going to call the people in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. Okay, and you pull those people out and call those people only, and those are the people that go on your sheet, and then you call those. All right, you can get a couple of these sheets, but this has to be brought to your PC every week as well, so we as managers can look at your phone statistics and see how you're doing. So with these sheets, we are able to now follow your business and make sure you're on the path to being successful, and that is what a successful rep does. We'll talk to you soon. Good luck with your Cutco career.